What's going on, tech heads? This is Jacob Alexander from JTech, and today I'm going to be showing you guys on a 2003 Toyota Camry SE how to change a header manifold gasket. I'm going to be showing you what the causes could be of a leaky manifold gasket, what it could cause the car to do, and what you can notice, and how to simply fix it. So first things first, we're going to talk about a couple of things that could lead you to thinking you have a manifold gasket leaking. Whenever you start the car and you hear by the engine bay, you may hear a tapping noise or kind of a hissing noise, and it kind of goes with the flow of the engine's combustion cycle. Whenever you rev up the car, you might hear the hissing noise get a little bit louder. Going with the RPMs is just creating more power, so it's going to push out more air. Okay, so we've already went ahead and started taking bolts out to make this easier for the video, but the first step you're going to do to get to the manifold is take the heat shield off, which is one bolt here, one bolt here, there's one bolt here, and one over here. Alright, now once you get those heat shield bolts off, later on whenever you need to take the heat shield off, this bracket over here that's held in by these two bolts right here, you're going to need to take this bracket off to remove that. Next, your O2 sensor is plugged in back over here at this plug. Just take that plug off so you can pull the cord through and the heat shield will come off. Alright, once you're to this step, you're almost there. Just a few more steps and you'll have the manifold off. There's 5 bolts on this particular car for the manifold onto the block. Take those 5 out, and then next you'll have a bracket to take off. So the last bracket that you're going to need to take off to take the manifold off is, there's a bracket down here holding on the primary or the first cat where it bolts down to the exhaust pipe. There is that one bolt on top, another bolt back here, and then a third bolt right here. Now that you guys have removed everything in order to take the manifold gasket or the manifold off to expose your crusty gasket, let's go ahead and do that. This right here is the gasket that obviously is no bueno anymore. Alright, sometimes whenever you have a manifold or a header leak at the block, the gasket typically will look worse than this. Sometimes you will see the gasket will be burnt out all the way to the edges, and that's how you'll know where it's leaking from and where the air is coming out at. If you go ahead and remove this one, it's not the worst, but you can see there are burn marks around it somewhere, so it's beginning to get some types of leaks in it. That's a pretty bad one right there. Okay, so this part kind of goes for any gasket when it comes to the automobile. Whenever you change some type of gasket, you're always going to want to make sure that the surface that you're putting the new gasket on is either as smooth as you can get it or perfectly smooth. That way there is no types of leaks or bumps for the other seal or the other gasket not to seal perfectly. The reason I have all the paper towels in here is so whenever you're taking the grinder and the Dremel and you're taking all the corrosion off and rust off, none of it goes into the cylinders themselves. Alright, now remember, we're just using this as a trainer aid for the video purposes, but once you would have cleaned all of the block and made sure that you clean this too and you put the new gasket on, all you're going to do is repeat all the previous steps in reverse and you'll be done with your job.